Have you ever walked into a hotel room and felt a sudden chill? A sense that you're not entirely alone? Imagine checking into a place for a night of rest, only to find yourself in the middle of a story that defies all explanation. Some hotels around the world aren't just known for their 5-star service or luxurious suites. They're famous for their permanent, otherworldly residents. These are the tales that staff whisper about in hushed tones, and that guests share online with trembling fingers. Today, we're unlocking the doors to some of the most haunted hotels on the planet, where the spirits of the past have never truly checked out. From spectral figures wandering the hallways to disembodied voices echoing in empty rooms. These stories are more than just local legends. They're chilling accounts that continue to baffle and terrify anyone who dares to spend the night. Our first stop is the notorious Hotel Cecil in Los Angeles, a place with a history so dark it feels torn from the pages of a horror novel. For decades, the Cecil has been a magnet for tragedy and mysterious deaths. But one case, in particular, captured the world's attention and left investigators stumped: the vanishing of Elisa Lam. In 2013, the young student disappeared from the hotel without a trace. The only clue was a bizarre and unsettling elevator surveillance video. In the footage, Elisa is seen acting erratically, hiding in the corner of the elevator, peeking out into the hallway, and gesturing as if she's talking to someone or something that isn't there. Then she vanishes. Weeks later, her body was discovered in one of the hotel's rooftop water tanks, a location that was locked and nearly impossible to access. The official cause of death was ruled an accidental drowning, but so many questions remain. How did she get into the sealed tank? Who was she talking to in the elevator? The mystery of Elisa Lam has become an inseparable part of the Cecil's chilling legacy, a story that suggests some unseen force may still be at play within its walls. Next, we travel across the pond to the Langham Hotel in London, a place of Victorian elegance and ghostly encounters. This luxurious hotel has a reputation for being one of the most haunted spots in the city, and its most famous ghostly resident is said to be the spirit of a German prince. The story goes that the prince took his own life in room 333 just before the outbreak of World War I. Ever since, guests and staff have reported a plethora of paranormal activity centered around this room. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night to see a figure in Victorian evening wear, with gaping wounds on his face, gliding towards you from the foot of the bed. Many have described an abrupt, intense drop in temperature, followed by the appearance of this spectral man. He is often seen staring blankly before vanishing into thin air. Even seasoned BBC journalists who stayed in the room for a broadcast fled in terror after witnessing the bed shake violently and seeing a glowing ball of light morph into the shape of a man. Room 333 at the Langham remains a hot spot for those brave enough to seek out the unknown, a room where the past is terrifyingly present. Let's venture now to the rugged landscapes of Colorado and the Stanley Hotel, the very inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. Long before the movie made it famous, the Stanley had its own cast of spectral characters. The original owners, Freeland and Flora Stanley, are said to have never truly left. Guests often hear ethereal piano music playing from the ballroom, even when it's completely empty, believed to be Flora delighting in an afterlife encore. Mr. Stanley himself is often spotted in the lobby and the billiard room, a distinguished, ghostly figure keeping a watchful eye on his beloved hotel. But the most active area is the 4th floor, which was once the servants' quarters. Here, the sounds of children running, laughing, and playing echo through the halls, especially near room 418. Guests report their belongings being mysteriously unpacked, lights turning on and off by themselves, and the faint imprint of a small body settling into the bed beside them. These aren't menacing spirits. They seem to be playful echoes of a time long past, content to spend eternity in the grand hotel they once called home. The Stanley Hotel isn't just a place to stay. It's an invitation to step into a living, breathing ghost story. Our journey then takes us to the Fairmont Banff Springs in Canada, a majestic castle nestled in the Rocky Mountains. This hotel is as beautiful as it is haunted, with two famous ghosts who have become part of its lore. The first is the doomed bride. Legend has it that on her wedding day in the 1920s, a young bride was descending the grand marble staircase when her dress caught fire from one of the candles lining the steps. In a panic, she tripped and fell to her death. Since then, numerous guests and employees have seen her spectral figure, dressed in her flowing white wedding gown, dancing alone in the Cascade Ballroom or gliding gracefully down the very staircase where her life tragically ended. She's not a frightful spirit, but a sorrowful one, forever waiting for the first dance that never was. The hotel's other famous ghost is Sam the bellman. Sam was a dedicated employee who worked at the hotel for decades until he passed away in 1975. He loved his job so much that he apparently decided to never clock out. Guests have reported being assisted by a helpful, elderly bellman in an old-fashioned uniform who helps them with their bags or unlocks their room door, only to vanish moments later. When they describe him to the front desk, staff members knowingly smile and tell them they've just met Sam. He is the hotel's eternal employee, still providing phantom service with a smile. Now, let's head down under to the Hotel Kurrajong in Canberra, Australia, a place deeply entwined with the country's political history. This hotel was the chosen residence of one of Australia's prime ministers, Ben Chifley, who lived there for years and eventually died in his room 214, in 1951. It seems his dedication to his country and his simple life at the hotel transcended his death. Staff and guests have frequently reported encountering a spectral figure, clad in a classic gray suit, believed to be the ghost of Chifley himself. He is most often seen standing near the fireplace in the room where he passed away, seemingly lost in thought. Others have felt a strong, commanding presence in the hallways or heard a disembodied voice quietly muttering, as if practicing a political speech. His ghost isn't frightening. Instead, it feels more like a lingering echo of a man who was deeply connected to the place he called home. Visitors who stay in his old room often report a sense of being watched over by a benevolent, statesman-like spirit, a permanent resident who continues to survey his old domain from the shadows. Our final destination is the Queen Mary, a retired ocean liner permanently docked in Long Beach, California. Once a glamorous vessel for the rich and famous and later a troop ship during World War II, it's now known as one of the most haunted places in America, with hundreds of documented paranormal occurrences. It's a floating city of ghosts. One of the most active areas is the engine room, where a young sailor was tragically crushed to death by a watertight door. Visitors on ghost tours often report seeing a man in old-fashioned sailor as overalls, walking near door 13 before disappearing. In the first-class swimming pool, the spirits of several people who drowned there are said to linger. Wet footprints often appear on the deck leading from the empty pool, and guests have heard the distinct sounds of splashing and disembodied voices, particularly those of two little girls named Sarah and Jackie, who are often heard giggling and calling out for their mother. The ship as Stateroom B340 is so active that it was closed to the public for years, after guests reported everything from the faucet turning on by itself to bed sheets being violently ripped off in the middle of the night. The Queen Mary isn't just a hotel. It's a time capsule of souls, each with a story to tell from beyond the veil. From tragic lovers to dedicated employees and playful children, these hotels hold more than just guests. They hold memories, energies, and stories that refuse to fade away. Each creak of the floorboards, each flicker of the lights could be a simple draft, or it could be a resident from another time, trying to make their presence known. What do you think? Are these just stories spawned to attract thrill seekers? Or are these hotels truly portals to the past, where spirits linger in the places they loved or lost? Have you ever had a paranormal experience in a hotel? Share your own spooky stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. Thank you for joining us on this ghostly tour. If you enjoyed uncovering these mysterious tales, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more explorations. into the world as most fascinating and unexplained phenomena. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an adventure into the unknown. Until next time, travel safely and maybe sleep with the lights on.